parents, you probably have kind of caught on. A lot of things happened this summer. You can look at it one or two ways. I like to look at it as opportunities. These student athletes were given a lot of opportunities this summer with their individual leagues and tournaments and camps. But then something spearheaded by all of our coaches putting together just an outstanding opportunity to grow as young athletes, but also as young adults. I think they've learned a lot of skills and habits they can take beyond athletics. By working out this summer, we invested some money in equipment. We had coaches spend a lot of time on building things and developing programs, and then the athletes themselves right here committing and doing it. And it's outstanding to see these individuals, the growth they've taken. I can't wait to see what happens for years to come out on the field, the court, the course, it doesn't matter. It's well invested time, and I think all of the athletes would say the same thing. They've really enjoyed the friendships they've gained, the respect from the coaches, getting to know other coaches, and just getting stronger and faster and mentally growing more than they even know yet. Confidence and ability, strength up here is really key. Athletes, nice job. Doesn't stop there. Doesn't stop. Okay, you got to keep it going and keep even getting better. Why don't you take a second? I need to turn this on and set up. Why doesn't everybody stand up and shake their neighbor's hand and say, I kind of like good old church day. Stand up and shake into the code. We received a lot of things tonight. What we're going to focus on is this form here, okay, the athletic handbook. Some of you are better visually, and I know it's not really big, but that might help you see it. I'll speak to it as well. We won't go word through word. You can read, but I want to make sure and highlight things, because inevitably we get to that point of an athlete or an adult saying, I didn't know that was a rule, when it's unfortunately too late and the consequence has to be applied. So that's the reasoning for this. Let's highlight and go through things that I think are extremely important for you to be aware of, hopefully in preventing a consequence from needing to occur. Our athletic program philosophy. You know, it's an important phase of learning. Academics aren't the only area where kids learn a lot. And I think you, as adults, know that. We can all probably think back to something fondly in our athletic experience, whether it's a relationship with a coach we still have today, or it's success, or if it led to some college experiences, whatever it is. It's a great learning opportunity. Our athletes represent our community. I think we've all been in that situation where we walk away from an event and we say, let down Glenwood City, all because of one athlete's action. And that's unfortunate. Glenwood City isn't represented by one athlete, but that's a reality of the situation. Athletics provides a positive way to represent our community. It's a privilege. The school board has said we're going to allow this. We want these sports. It does not have to be something presented in high schools or in school districts today. And the purpose of the code, we want to ensure a high standard of behavior. We're not to punish, but to rather to guide and inform the student athlete of their responsibilities as an SCC athlete. All of us as adults, we know we have responsibilities in our job, in our lives. This is a start for them learning about their responsibilities in this privilege. Some of the objectives, and again, I'm briefing through the first page there. I apologize, we're on page 1. Objectives, learning skills of competitive lifetime sports, providing experiences in cooperating with people, participation in rules, a high degree of sportsmanship, developing healthy lifestyle habits, self-esteem, growth. This summertime, I think, again, as I spoke to the mental side, self-esteem, learning self-discipline, self-confidence, promoting school and community interaction. Athletics opens that door for a lot of different relationships to be built. Research is pretty clear. In fact, it's very clear. There's been a lot of research in it. Being an active participant in activities or athletics after school creates growth in leadership skills, communication, cooperation, academics. I mean, there's literally a difference in students that participate and don't participate in their grade point averages. Developing relationships, etc. But the key there I want you to notice, being an active participant, the research has been on that. It's not on if the person is a starter. It's not on if the athlete plays more minutes than the other person. It's not how many times they carried the ball or how many serves they got. It's about being an active participant. But what are you focusing on? Being involved. Not about playing time, not about those other sides. That's what is really neat to see. Other research. This is my own research. I take it from a gentleman that's gleaned many, many years as a JV, middle school, freshman, varsity, and collegiate coach. Numerous years. He would ask at the end of every season, why do you play? 9 out of 10, the very first thing, I play for fun. Even at the college level, middle school and college, I play for fun. I like playing games. I enjoy this particular game over other games. Very, very rarely did he hear to be a starter, to be all-state, to go undefeated, to win a state championship, to make varsity as a sophomore and score 20 points. That's not what kids said. Their first comment was, have fun. And then he went further though. He said, okay, out of those 10, let's go a little bit deeper. If you want to play after high school, college, they really have that goal and they work hard for it. I want to play college football. I want to play college football. 4 just want to be with friends and belong. It's a social thing. And that's great. It is. It's fun. Being with your friends. 1 just enjoys exercising, being healthy. Unfortunately, the negative 3. If we had 10 athletes stand right now and I put 7 down, 3 of them play because they have pressure from a parent or a coach saying, you're playing. Because I'm done playing, I can't do it anymore. Or because I think you can represent me. Or because I think you're good, even if you don't like the sport, you should play it. The reason I point that out is just to be really careful with how much of that pressure is put on. Kids have a lot of pressures today already. Make sure they're playing the sport for the right reason, because they enjoy it and want to be there. Some pressure is good, absolutely. We want the best out of our children. But that's an unfortunate piece that 3 really are there because, not of their own reason. So let's go back into the book. Page 2. In our book, and you also received another handout that has WIAA policies. Okay, we're governed by the WIAA, Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Association. That's what we're a part of. That's why we can be in tournaments at the end of the year. We're not a part of that. There is no state tournaments. There are no regional, sections, etc. They have their own policies that we as a school have to be abiding by, as well as after. This is very general. You got a lot in that one handout from the WIAA. I encourage you to spend time reading that at another time. Students, of course, have to reside in the district. Permission being granted and writing by a parent or guardian. There are situations where you don't have to live in the district, open enrollment, etc., but that's a general sense. Physicals completed every 2 years, alternate cards, 1 year, you got all that information tonight. Transfers, any new students, they can't play until they're cleared by a WIA. I work with that student and that family. We send all the information in to the WIA, and the board looks at that and makes a decision based on the circumstances surrounding them. So if you are a new student this evening, being a transfer student, we'll need to work together as we get towards closer to the season. Amateur athletes only, and you have to follow the WIA code and our school code. Very general. Again, you have that other handout. Please spend time on that later on. Okay, our SCC policies. Let's dive into those as well here. Starting on page 2, the general policies. These are, of course, all board approved and developed by many people over the course of the year. Okay, the highlights that I'm picking up, the ones that we maybe have struggled with or that are most important. We have to have this on file from each student before you can even practice, before you can step on that field. And coaches know that, and they adhere to that for our own liability issues. We cannot allow an athlete unless we know they have that condition to play and they understand the school rules. Observing team rules. Each program tonight, you have your team meetings afterwards. There's additional rules or guidelines that are important to their programs. You need to observe those as well.